Say goodbye to boring Instagram outreach and hello to an outreach method that targets qualified leads so that you can sign your first client this week. Welcome to the final part of my full copywriting masterclass. And in this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to actually start making money with the skills that I have taught you. If you haven't watched the first 5 parts to this series, then I highly suggest you check them out. Copywriting basics for beginners, direct response copywriting, branded copywriting, advanced copywriting techniques, SEO copywriting, and finally, outreach. In this video, I'm going to teach you the best outreach method in the world, which gets the highest response rate and the highest closing rate by far. So let's jump straight into it without wasting any more time. Oh, did I mention I'm teaching you 2 outreach methods in this video? Yes, it's your lucky day. 2 of the best outreach methods in the world. So let's get straight into it. Outreach method 1. Say goodbye to Instagram outreach and hello to an outreach method that targets qualified leads who are already willing to pay for your services. What this means is the prospects that we are going to be targeting, the prospects that I'm going to show you how to find, are already qualified leads. This outreach method removes 90% of the work involved in outreach. You don't have to send a personalized compliment, and you don't have to send them free value to try and qualify them. These prospects are already qualified and interested in hiring a copywriter. All you have to do is convince them that you're the man for the job. And if you've watched my full course, then you know exactly how to do that, because convincing someone to take action is copywriting. So if you haven't watched my full course, watch it, because then you will know exactly how to convince these prospects that you are the man for the job. So this outreach method is called ad poaching. I have posted a video on my YouTube channel explaining this outreach method already, but this is an updated, remastered version because that was my first ever YouTube video and it was shit. This video is going to explain it more in depth and give you some more intricate techniques on how to use this outreach method. But before we start, I just want to give you some comparisons, some comparative statistics. So, ad poaching versus Instagram outreach. So this varies from person to person based on a number of factors. After extensive testing and using this outreach method myself for almost 2 months, here's a brief comparison between ad poaching and Instagram outreach. So for Instagram outreach, you can only send approximately 10 to 15 high quality DMs per hour. This is because with Instagram outreach, you need to spend time searching prospects. You need to spend time going through their profile, maybe liking some of their photos to warm them up. Maybe you have to find a video that you can study and then send them a personalized compliment on this video. So on average with Instagram outreach, it can take you around about 6 minutes per DM for relatively high quality. If you're talking really high quality outreach, when you want to find the best compliment to use to try and get a response, you may only be able to send 5 or 6 DMs per hour. So the volume for Instagram outreach is incredibly low. The volume for ad poaching is 50 to 100 DMs per hour. This is because you don't have to waste time qualifying the prospect. With Instagram outreach, you have to get a response and then send free value to try and qualify them. Now, forget the free value part. With Instagram outreach, your main objective is to get a response, right? You get a response by sending them a personalized message. With the ad poaching method, we have a script that is personalized to every single prospect that you are going to be messaging, and therefore you can use a copy and paste script and send anywhere from 50 to 100 DMs per hour. So Instagram's response rate. On average, you are going to get between 1 and 5% of your outreach responded to when you send outreach on Instagram. This is just an average. It doesn't matter what outreach method you use. When you send outreach to someone, the odds of you getting a response are between 1 and 5%. It's exactly the same for ad poaching. The difference is you can send a lot more volume with ad poaching. Now, the interest percentage for Instagram outreach is approximately 5%. So out of the 5% of prospects who respond to your 10 or 15 DMs per hour, only 5% of those responses are going to be interested in your services. Mainly because Instagram outreach just doesn't work. Mainly because Instagram outreach is just used by everyone, so they're getting millions of these messages every single day. The fact of the matter is, and I'm sure many of you have tried it already, when you send outreach on Instagram, you're just getting absolutely no interest from prospects whatsoever. That is just a fact. But with the ad poaching method, you're going to receive around about 60% interest from people who respond. The reason it is 60% and not 100% is because what you are doing is targeting prospects that have expressed interest in copywriting services via a paid ad that's been paid by someone else. The reason you only get 60% interest is because, one, they may not have enough money to pay for your services. They may just assume that you're going to only charge them $20, and then when you bring them back down to reality and say, no, it's $2,000, then they're not interested. And the second reason is they've already paid for marketing services via the advertisement. But through my extensive testing, I found that I got around about 60% interest rate from the people that I was sending outreach to. And call to action after interest is between 5 and 10%. What this means is how many people are booking a call after they've expressed interest. So how many people are you able to warm up to an eventual action, which is booking a call? And again, with Instagram outreach, it's between 5 and 10%, exactly the same for ad poaching. Now, doing some simple calculations, and this is not a statistical fact, this is just based off of testing that I've done and an average that I have come up with. Using these statistics, if you send 15 DMs per hour, get a 5% response rate and a 5% interest rate, and you send outreach for 8 hours per day, then you will find 0.3 interested prospects per day with Instagram outreach. And I'm sure the statistics are even lower than that, because some of you will have been outreaching for 8 hours a day for months on end and got no interest from prospects. With these statistics, this is best case scenario. You send 15 DMs per hour, you get 5% of those DMs responded to by the end of the day after 8 hours. And when you follow up with the next message, 5% of your follow-ups grab the interest of the person that you're outreaching to, leaving you with 0.3 people per day who are interested in your shit. With ad poaching, if you are sending 100 DMs per hour, which is what I averaged at, getting 5% responses per hour with 60% interest, then by the end of your 8-hour day sending outreach, you will have a total of 24 prospects who are interested in your services. That isn't including the call to action. We're just talking about interested prospects here. By the end of the day, you will have 24 interested prospects in your DMs that you can begin warming up and convincing that you are the man for the job. That is why this outreach method is so much more powerful than Instagram outreach, because you've got access to a plethora of qualified prospects, and you can send a high amount of volume because you can use a script, a copy and paste script. It's amazing, honestly. And I use this outreach method to sign myself over 15 clients and generate over £17,000, which is about $20,000 within 2 months of discovering that this outreach method was even a thing, because I stumbled across this accidentally. Best thing I ever did. So let's actually teach you how to do it. So stage 1, the first thing you need to do is optimize your ads so that you have the relevant advertisements, so that relevant advertisements will start to appear across your social media platform. To do this, you simply need to make Google think you are interested in marketing services so that it pushes marketing ads to your social media page. So how do you do it? Step 1, turn on your preferences. Navigate to your chosen social media platform. I prefer Facebook, as this platform has the highest engagement rates, and Instagram can also be used. Once there, head to your settings and click on these prompts. Settings and privacy. Then click on settings, then click on account center, then click on ad preferences, then click on ad settings, then click on activity information from ad partners, and then click on this. Show me ads that are more relevant by using this information. What this is going to do is Facebook and Google are going to start scissoring each other. And every time you do something on Google, Google is going to squirt inside of Facebook and Facebook is going to piss out advertisements based on your search history. That makes sense? So turning on your ad preferences is very important. You will see in the later stages. So the step 2 is you need to sign into the correct Google account. Make sure to sign into the same Google account that is associated with your chosen social media platforms. This allows Facebook to access your search history and use that information to send you the relevant ads. What this means is this little section up here, Google account. You need to sign in to the same email address that is associated with the social media platforms you're going to be using to locate these ads. So if you use johndoe2000@gmail.com for your Facebook account, then you need to sign in with johndoe2000@gmail.com on Google. Because then it's going to track your data for the stuff that you're searching for, collect that data and send that data over to Facebook so Facebook can start showing you ads based on your search history. Very important. So step 3, research copywriting and marketing services. Research copywriting services as if you are your chosen prospect. Things like where to hire a copywriter, where to find a marketing director, and copywriting agencies, etc. Make sure you actually visit and navigate the web pages that appear on the search engine results page so that Google can track your movements and push the correct ads to you. So if I type in on Google now, copywriting agency. Let's go past sponsored and let's click on one of these random ones. So just do a little bit of research on the website. Go through the research, have a look on their menu, have a look at their services, our services, research, strategy, copywriting. Let's have a look at some of their services. They've got business-to-business copywriting. Take a look through it. Actually sit and read, because again, Google will track the amount of time you spend on each page as well. So you can't just ping, 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 ping. You actually have to show Google that you're interested in this sort of stuff by reading the page, because it will track how long you've stayed on the page. If you just click on one of these websites during your research and then click straight off it, that's called a bounce rate. That's called bouncing. And Google will track the fact that you have bounced off of this website and then decide that you are not interested in the contents of this website. So you won't start receiving the correct ads. You actually have to stay on this website, read it, understand it. Some of these websites, copywriting agencies, for example, this one, I'm sure there's some source on here, and I'm sure a copywriting agency has used some good copywriting techniques on their website. I'm pretty sure they will have done. So it's learning materials for you as well. Do a bit of studying. This is exactly what happened to me. I was studying copywriting agencies so that I could read how they structure their copy on their website, how they write, the language they use, the tone of voice, etc., etc. I was studying copywriting agencies so that I could learn from them. And after spending 3 hours studying copywriting agencies like this one, I came off it and started seeing all the ads popping up on Facebook for copywriting and marketing services. So that's what you have to do. You have to show Google that you are actually genuinely interested in copywriting services by doing the actual research. And once you do that, and only once you do that, will Google start showing you the relevant ads. If you try and rush this process and just type in random keywords and bounce between different websites, Google is going to automatically assume that you are not interested in the keyword that you have written into Google, because you're bouncing off websites. You're not interested. You have to actually show interest, or you're just going to do yourself over. Hope that clears some things up from the previous video, because I'm sure that's what a lot of you have been doing. So step 2, locating prospects. Now it's time for the boring part. You have to scroll through your chosen social media platform until you start seeing the ads that have a large number of comments. If you're not seeing the ads, then you either need to do more research or double check that you followed all the steps correctly. Go back, double check. Are your ad preferences turned on? Are you signed into the correct Google account? And have you actually sat there and taken the time to research copywriting agencies rather than just doing it as quick as you can because you think you're going to get a client in an hour? Stop rushing. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Take your time, be patient. Not all ads are going to have a large number of comments. You need to be patient. You'll find one eventually. Too many of you have been messaging me, especially after my first video. Too many of you have been messaging me saying, oh, I've seen a bunch of these ads, but none of them have many comments. Okay, what's your email address? Then they tell me their email address. And then I have a look at my newsletter and I notice that they've signed up to my newsletter 5 days ago. Right, so you've only been scrolling for 5 days. How long have you been scrolling per day? Have you even been scrolling at all? Have you just seen a couple of ads and thought, oh, it don't work, there's no comments on any of these advertisements? Be patient, take your time. Not every single ad is going to have a plethora of clients. And I'll tell you what, next point, and then I'm going to show you, the only 4 ads that I found in 2 months, passively, I weren't specifically looking for them. I found one ad that was really good and used that for ages. And then whenever I passively came across one, naturally scrolling, I saved it. And in 2 months, I only saw 4 ads that had a bunch of comments that were relevant to what I wanted to do. In 2 months, I found 4 ads. So if you are actively searching, you should be able to find them quicker than that, because I don't scroll very often. So you should be able to find these ads quicker than 4 in 2 months or 1 every 2 weeks. Just be patient. You're not going to find it instantly. You're not just going to start seeing a million advertisements that have a million comments. Be patient. Stop rushing everything. And again, you can target any ad that offers something that you can provide. So let me show you some examples of these advertisements. So this one here, this is the magic ad that got me the majority of my work. And this was the first ad that I ever came across. Excuse me. So one day I was sitting and scrolling, and I saw this: small business owners interested in promoting their business on social media. I read that and thought, promoting your business on social media, copywriting. Had a look at the comments, 2,200 comments. Interested. Oh my God. They're all interested. Oh my God. Every single one of them is interested. Oh my God. Every single one. 2,200 prospects, all interested. I messaged every single person in that comment section. Every single one. Over the course of 2 months. I also messaged every single person in this comment section. Social media manager, copywriting. Just messaged all of them. Every single one. Then I saw another expert market, which was a different ad that had a different pool of prospects. 262 comments. Interested. So I messaged all of them. Grow your business. Another one. Grow your YouTube channel. I messaged all of them. To be fair, I didn't actually get any replies off this one. But I still messaged them all. Send it. Those are the type of ads that you want to target. This one was my best performing one. I got so many clients from this ad. I think the majority of my clients came from this one ad alone, because it was specifically like promoting your business on social media. One thing I want to clarify as well is that a lot of these guys were looking to pay nothing, basically. They wanted to pay something like $90 a month for social media marketing. I told them that that was bullshit, and instead I came up with workflows for them. Things like building a sales page, building a newsletter for them, things like that. Setting up automations on social media, or providing them with copy templates that they can use to drive traffic to a sign-up page that they can market to later. I did stuff like that for people. I also did ad scripts for people, social media marketing. I did ad scripts for people. I did a bunch of different stuff like that. But the majority of work I got from this ad was standalone projects to do with social media. Standalone projects all to do with social media. So that's one thing you need to take into consideration as well. Yes, they're interested prospects. What are they interested in? Social media marketing. So you have to pitch them social media marketing. You start pitching people emails that are interested in social media, they're going to think, fuck off. You have to be clever about this stuff. You can't just, like, everything I've taught you throughout this course, just go back and watch it if you haven't watched it. If you have watched it and you're still thinking this dumb shit, then go back and watch it again. Actually listen to what I'm saying. You need to be clever. You need to go into this tactically. You need to understand your audience, understand everything about them. Interested, interested, interested. What are they interested in? Social media, marketing. What can I do for them? Ad scripts, captions, lead magnets, all that stuff. So they're the examples. Now, one thing I want to say is that when you sign up to my newsletter, you will receive an automation off me, a welcome email telling you to fill out a survey just so that I get your first name. It's just for custom field purposes. Fill out a survey, and then once you've filled out that survey, you'll receive an email with all 4 of these ads in that email, as well as other things, which we'll get to later on. But you'll receive the links to all 4 of these ads. You could probably just look at my screen now and copy that if you really wanted to. But if you sign up to my newsletter, you'll receive all these ads. Do not try and get a client from the comment section of these ads. You won't get a client, right? First of all, I have already messaged all 2,200 of these guys, right? Maybe not 2,200. I think there was like 1,800 comments when I was using this. So I've already messaged 1,800 of these guys. Not only that, but about 300 of you have signed up to my newsletter, and therefore another 300 copywriters are all targeting this specific ad because they're too lazy to optimize their ads and find their own. So don't use these ads to try and get clients. Use them as examples of the sort of ads that you actually want to look for. Okay? Like this one, grow your YouTube channel. I can do scripts. I can do SEO copywriting for your descriptions and titles. What's this one? Social media manager. I can do your captions. I can do your ad scripts. I can do this. I can do that. If you find one for emails, then wow, you're going to be jizzing. You find one for SEO, wow, you're going to be jizzing even more. Amazing. I've got a better SEO outreach strategy coming up soon though. But that's that for this section. So let's continue with the video because I'm waffling. Right, stage 3, outreach. You found a list of prospects to target. Now it's time to hit them with this script. As I mentioned before, you can use copy and paste script because it's personalized. All these guys are already qualified. You don't need to try and get a response out of them by any means necessary. You just send them this script, and since they're already interested and it's personalized to something that they have done, you either get a response or you don't. There's nothing better than this. This is the best way to do it. I noticed you recently commented on a marketing ad on X. Are you still interested in marketing your business? These marketing agencies don't always deliver the best results, so let me know if you're interested. I'd be happy to help. Since this message is personalized to each and every prospect in the comment section, it's okay to copy and paste for mass outreach. Therefore, you can send 100 outreach per hour. You will get the same response rate as any other outreach method. Approximately 5% of prospects will respond to you. However, you're sending 5 times as much, 10 times as much outreach. Not only that, but instead of getting 5% of the prospects that respond to you actually turn out to be interested in what you're offering, 60% of the prospects that respond to you will turn out to be interested in what you're offering because they were already interested to begin with. And the only reason they're not interested is because 1, they've actually paid the marketing agency to do it for them, or 2, they're broke bitches and can't afford your services, so you wouldn't want to work with them anyway. Best outreach method in the world. Now for follow-ups, like any other outreach method, most of these guys are going to ignore you, don't worry about it, blah, 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 blah. I forgot to get rid of this bit, I updated this PowerPoint. Massively improving your chances without reducing quality. You're going to get different replies, so I can't give you the answers to every possible scenario. You just have to use your initiative. Just remember this. Always make sure you identify what stage of awareness they are in, because they might be interested in marketing services, but if they're not aware of what those services involve, then just make them aware. So as always, your goal is to entice a call to action, as in booking a call, nothing more. If you think it is necessary to send your prospect after they've expressed interest to you, if you think it's necessary to send them some free value as an example or a case study of what you could do for them, then do it. If you don't think that's necessary and you can convince them on your own, then just do that. What is important, what you need to remember is when you are outreaching, right, after you get that response, the response that expresses interest, it's all about convincing them that you are the man for the job. How do you convince someone to take action on a call to action? I'm like choosing whether or not to look at you or the screen. How do you do it? How do you get someone to take action? Voila, copywriting. Warm up the lead. Use copywriting techniques. Use everything that I have taught you throughout this 5-part course, 6-part course. Use it all to psychologically manipulate this potential client into booking a call with you. That's the point of copywriting. If you can't do that or you don't know how to do that, go back and watch my course again and make notes and actually do the work and actually practice. So then you actually know and you actually make a mental note of the things that I've taught you instead of just sitting there watching me like this. Actually do something. Actually learn copywriting. And then you will know exactly how to convince these people to pay you. And if you can convince someone to pay you for your services, then that proves that you are good at what you do because you've just done it by convincing someone to pay you. It's not rocket science. One thing I will tell you though, a trick, right? When I say use copywriting, that doesn't mean send them a big ass fucking message all at once, fucking identifying a problem, proposing a solution, selling the solution. Fuck that. You're not sending emails. These are DMs. Treat every single DM you send like a direct response DM that should contain no more than 50 words. This direct response DM, right? What's the response going to be? Tell me now, right? Stop. Just fucking think outside the box. For once in your life, think outside the box. When I say send a direct response DM, what do you think I want the response to be? You want them to reply. You want them to keep replying. You want to keep them interested. You want them to reply to whatever it is that you say. Therefore, you need to use some sort of techniques, some sort of copywriting techniques that I have taught you throughout this course to not only warm up the lead by explaining their problems and explaining how you can solve those problems, but also making sure that the message you send forces them to reply until eventually you send that final message when you believe the time is right. You send that final message that the final call to action is booking a call with you. That is the point of outreach. Use copywriting to get people to respond. That is it. That is the difference between people who book calls and people who don't. Using copywriting, for fuck's sake. I've spent about 4 hours, more than 4 hours of my time, it's just 4 hours of your time watching these videos. Never mind recording and then sometimes having to re-record because I fuck up the recording, building the slides, editing the videos. I've spent weeks of my time preparing this course for you to teach you copywriting, for you to then go on and try and get a client and not use what I've taught you. Use it. You're a copywriter. Your job is to get a response from someone. Convince a prospect to take action. When you get a response using this outreach method from someone who is interested, fucking use what I've taught you to convince them to pay you. That's what you do. If you can't do that, quit. Or watch my videos again. Don't quit. Fuck that. No, don't quit. Don't be a pussy. Watch the videos again. Actually learn. Get good. If you have any questions, just watch the fucking videos again. You don't need any more information. It's all in there. And I've proved it with my examples at the end of my teaching course part. Like after I taught you direct response, branded, and then advanced, I put all those techniques into one piece copy and showed you it, proving that you don't need anything else other than what I've taught you. I'm ranting now. I'm gonna stop ranting. Listen, use this outreach method, get a response, get another response, confirming that they're interested, and then just use your initiative. Use what I've taught you to convince them to pay you. That is it. Whew. Breather. That's just one outreach method, by the way. I've got another one. Another one that's really good. Even better. So, an interesting concept that works incredibly well. What separates this method from others is that you are identifying prospects who are actively trying to solve a problem and failing. They're already in the conversion stage of engagement. They just chose the wrong team. I call this outreach the SERP method, or SEO outreach. These guys are trying to solve a problem and failing, which means they are even more qualified than the guys in this outreach method. Because these guys, these guys are interested. Guess what? These guys are not only interested, but they're actively trying to figure out what the fuck is going on and figure out how to solve their problems. They're actively trying to do it. So these are even more qualified than the leads in the previous outreach method, which makes it even better. Ugh, it's unbelievable. Guys, I can't believe I'm giving you this for free. If you don't fucking subscribe after this video, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking come to your house and bite your head off. The problem. As mentioned before, you will be pitching prospects who are failing to solve a problem they have. But what is that problem? It's simple, SEO. There's a sweet spot in the search engine results page which allows you to identify prospects who are trying to rank but failing. This is important because you need to find the prospects who are trying and failing as opposed to prospects who are not trying and therefore failing. What this means is the sweet spot is anywhere from page 3 to page 20. The absolute sweet spot is page 3, 4, and 5. Reason being is because when you type in a search query, if you don't know what a search query is, go and watch the SEO course, right? You've got no place here unless you've watched my course about SEO copywriting. But the sweet spot on the search engine results page is page 3, 4, and 5. All the other pages after that, yep, they're pretty good as well. You can target them up to page 10. I do say page 20 in my slide, but we'll just say page 10. Page 3 to page 10. But the sweet spot is page 3, 4, and 5. When you type in a search query on Google, you're going to get search engine results, right? And there's going to be rank 1 at the top. You might have a few sponsored website pages above it, but you're going to have rank 1 at the top on page 1 of Google. All you do is scroll down to the bottom, skip to page 3. Now, every website on page 3 is attempting to rank for the search query that you have used in Google, if that makes sense. So when you type in how to be a copywriter on Google, page 1, you'll have your top results on page 1, skip to page 3, and every website on that page is trying to rank for the search query how to start copywriting, but every single page on page 3 is failing to rank for it. Yeah, that makes sense. They wouldn't be on page 3 if they weren't using SEO techniques. Okay, so they are using SEO techniques. We know that because they're on page 3, but they're not using good enough SEO techniques to be on page 1. And that is the problem that they are trying to solve and failing. And that is the problem that you, the SEO copywriter, can help them solve. So how do you do it? Stage 1. Type in your keyword into Google. This keyword should have informational intent. Just makes your life easier when outreaching. And be targeted towards a high ticket business. Again, target a high ticket business because you want to get paid. You actually want prospects who are qualified and you want money. Fuck niches, fuck whatever you're interested in. I don't care what you're interested in. You want money. That's what we're all interested in. So target a high ticket business. Whatever niche is high ticket, that's what business you target. It's always helpful to do keyword research beforehand, as this can help improve the accuracy of your outreach. What this means is when you go onto page 3, not every page will be specifically trying to rank for the keyword that you have entered into Google. Some of them might just accidentally be ranking for that word, when in reality they're actually ranking for another specific keyword and they're actually ranked 1 for that keyword. They're just accidentally ranking for the search query that you've put in. So if you do a little bit of keyword research to actually figure out what keywords they are ranking for, if you identify that their primary keyword is the keyword that you've entered into Google and they are only ranking page 3, that is a prospect that you can use. If their primary keyword is how much does a copywriter get paid, but they're ranked on page 3 of Google for how to be a copywriter, then they've accidentally ranked for that, and that just means that they've got a really good website and a lot of authority. So they've accidentally ranked for that. So do a bit of keyword research, make sure that their primary keyword is actually the search query that you've typed in, and if they're ranking on page 3 and there's a bunch of competitors that are ranking higher than them, then you can target them. Step 2, scroll down to page 3. Fuck that. Page 3 of the search engine results page. Look at every business on that page and use my secret software, link in the description. I'm not allowed to post it on YouTube for some reason. I asked someone about it and I'm not allowed. So just check the description, sign up for my newsletter. You'll get it in the same automation that I mentioned earlier that has the ads in it. You get a message, I'll say hello, fill out a survey, just type your first name in. You don't even need to give me your first name if you don't want to, just put fucking dot. Type that in, type your first name in, then you'll get the email about 24 hours after that, and that'll have my secret software. To locate the business email of either the CEO or the marketing director of each business in the search engine results page. So when you qualify a page that is attempting to rank for the search query that you have put in, and they're on page 3, you click on that website, copy the URL, use my secret software, find the business owner's email address, and then once you've located and verified the validity of the CEO's email, it's time to send them your outreach. So step 1, with any email outreach, your subject line should always be your name, their name, like that. So for example, James Cavanagh, Elon Musk, that's what the subject line should look like. I don't know how, I don't know why, this just seems to be the best and most intriguing subject line that has the highest open rate. I did not come up with this, I heard this off someone else, I tested it, and yes, it really does have the highest open rate. I'm talking like 90% open rate. Don't know how, don't know why, it just must just come off as intriguing. You can A/B test as well to see which one has the best open rates. So you could do Elon Musk, James Cavanagh, instead of James Cavanagh, Elon Musk. Just test, whichever one. But generally, that is the best subject line, and it's literally got like 90% open rates. It's unbelievable. Oh my God, what's going on? What is going on? There we go. Right, step 2 for the body. You have to be very careful what you say. In my experience, a compliment on their service or product to start with is always the best approach. You don't always have to do that, but you know, it can be good for hooking the reader. Most of the time, the web page that will appear in the search engine results page will be an article or blog, especially if you've targeted something with informational intent. That is why. Now you're going to understand why you need to target informational intent. You need to read that article and find a gap in the information. Then in your email, ask the question that wasn't answered in the original article. It's important to make yourself seem like an interested customer. Let me reiterate that in my own words. Type in a search query on Google, skip to page 3, make sure that the web page that you choose is trying to rank for the specific search query that you've put in and just hasn't accidentally ranked for it. Make sure that they're trying to rank for it. Get the guy's email, message him, and before you message him, so find the article, right? Read the article, find a gap of information within that article. So read it, understand it, and then think of something that could be added to the article. Find a gap within the information, and then contact the CEO and ask them the question that wasn't answered in the article. How to be a copywriter. If they tell you absolutely everything from learning copywriting to outreach to whatever, but you still don't know how to register as a limited company, then that's what question you would ask in your email. Hi, I just read your article on blah, 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 blah. It's really interesting that copywriting, it sounds really great and I'd love to get into it. The only thing is, I now understand what I need to do to learn copywriting and I know how to get clients, but how do I actually legalize that process and register as a limited company and get myself a tax code? Your article didn't seem to mention that part. And you'll get a response. So for follow-ups, response rates are incredibly high for this type of outreach. The subject line gets them to open the email and you're asking a question that makes it seem like they're getting a potential sale from you. The example I just gave wasn't a very good example. I've got an actual example of when I used this outreach method and it worked. So I'll show you that. But you generally want to be making it out like they're going to get a sale because you're interested in information that they've provided. So if they've provided information on shampoo or something, and they say that this shampoo will stop your hair from flaking, then you just, but in the article, there's no information on what shampoo or what hair type this shampoo works best on. Then that's what question you would ask. What hair type does this shampoo work on best? Is it good for thin hair? Is it good for thick hair? And then you'll get a response because they're going to think that you want to buy their shampoo, so they need to clarify that, oh no, it actually works for any hair type. You get me? Anyway, I'm going to turn my phone upside down because it's distracting me. So they will respond, and they will always respond by answering your question and either leaving it at that, offering you a call, or redirecting you to more information. Your follow-up should cater to their response. Through testing, I've only got 3 responses. They either answer your question and nothing else, redirect you to more information, or send you a link to book a call with one of their salesmen. So for response 1, if they answer your question with no subsequent follow-ups, then you simply thank them and then highlight the problem that is the missing information in their articles. Explain that you had to scroll all the way down to page 3 to find their blog, and describe the reasons why their page is ranking low and the negative implications of ranking low and how they can potentially solve that problem. For response 2, if they redirect you to another page, read it and then just repeat 2.2. Read that article, find a gap within the information, then just send them another email saying, right, I've read this article, blah, 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 but what about this? And then you'll just get another response from them, and then they will usually just answer. They won't redirect you again at that point, trust me. And then response 3, if they offer to book a call with you, you will most likely be booked with one of their salesmen. You can try and do A/B testing. Approach A being accepting the call and using that sales call to pitch the salesman. I wouldn't advise it. I've never done that. I'm just saying you could do it. Or approach B, you could refuse the call and ask to speak directly to the CEO and then, and ask to speak directly to the CEO there and then, or send them your calendar. You can experiment with response 1 techniques, blah, 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 blah. I'm brain farting, I apologise. But response 3, I've got that response once and I just ignored him. I couldn't be bothered with it. I thought, I'm not jumping on a sales call for you to sell me when I'm trying to sell you. I just didn't bother with that. So it's up to you. You can try this and you can try and push to get that sale. You can keep like nagging the CEO and see if you can fucking get something out of him. Me, I had a bunch of clients at that point and I just thought, fuck off, can't bother. So let me just give you an example now of response 1, which is this. And it also caters to response 2. Because when they redirect you, you just repeat 2.2, and then when you send them another email, then you'll get response 1. So basically, this is just the response that you always use. So, I messaged this company. It was Rate-Wise Mortgages. Move my camera. So I messaged this company called Rate-Wise Mortgages. I said, hi X, I just read your article, and I sent a link to the article that I read. And I had a couple of questions for you. And by the way, this article was on page 5, I think it was. I had a couple of questions for you. How much does it cost to hire a mortgage broker? Will a mortgage broker be able to find a mortgage that has a cheap enough deposit to allow me to pay the broker fee while still paying less total upfront costs than if I were to find one myself? To give you an example, I have a budget of £22,500 to pay the initial deposit and all other fees such as legal insurance. I have found myself a mortgage that will accept a 25% minimum deposit on an £80,000 property. My specific question is this: can a mortgage broker help me find a mortgage that will accept less than 25% deposit without the broker fee, bumping my total costs back up to the original costs I calculated myself? If possible, I'd like to pay less than £20,000 total fees so that I have some money left over for furnishings, etc. Hope to hear back from you soon. P.S. I'm a first-time buyer. So he got back to me, he said, hi James. As a first-time buyer, minimum deposits usually sit around 12 to 15% of the total cost of the property. Our mortgage brokers specialise in finding these mortgages for you, along with the best interest rates, fees for our services, blah, 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 blah. He basically answered the question and said, we can get you all of this for 15 grand when I wanted it for 20 grand. I purposely used that because I knew it'd get a response because it was a ridiculous number. Fucking 25% deposit for a first-time buyer, that's not heard of. I already knew that it was 12 to 15% because I bought my mum's house for her after I started copywriting. So I already knew it was that. So I used these numbers to get a response out of him. It's all copywriting techniques, all little psychological tricks that I've used that you wouldn't even think of. All little psychological tricks. I'd like to pay less than 20 grand total fees. And he's responded and said, he'll have been jizzing in his pants thinking, well, I can get it you for 15 grand. So that's a client immediately. So he responded, I can get it you for 15 grand. Hope this answers your question. So I said, thank you so much for that. Do you mind if I ask who writes your articles for you? I think you would benefit immensely from implementing this type of information into your articles targeted towards my specific search query. I'm not going to lie, I scrolled for about 10 minutes before I found your page. I think it was ranked around page 10 on Google. If your content answers all possible questions associated with this specific search query, in this case, where to find the best mortgage rates, it will really improve your search engine page rankings and therefore bring in much more organic traffic and more sales without the back and forth emails asking questions that could have already been answered. I'm an SEO copywriter and I'd be more than happy to give you some pointers and help you rank your pages higher on Google. Let me know if you're interested. So he messaged me back. I'm not going to lie, I kind of thought he was just a bit pissed off when he responded to me, but he obviously weren't. So he said, hi, we've got a team of website developers that write all our content. I'm aware of SEO, but don't know much about it. I'll leave it to them. You're giving me some valuable insight as to what we're doing wrong, so I'll make sure to bring it up with my team. So I thought, right, one more follow-up, let's see. I'll be happy to book a call if you want to go through some strategies to improve your rankings if you'd like. Just let me know. And he did. He just straight up booked a call. Thanks, James. I booked a call with you. Fucking camera died. Anyway, where were I? So yeah, the guy booked a call with me and unfortunately he never showed up to the call. Oh well, doesn't matter. But he did book a call. I got that call to action. He booked the call. And that is basically how it works. The outreach method. Really good. So your key takeaways is type in a search query with informational intent, skip to page 3 and start reading articles on that page. If part of your question hasn't been answered in the article, then navigate to my secret software, link in the description, and reach out to the CEO or marketing director. Repeat this process for every business up to page 10, not 20. Don't waste your time going up to page 10, 20, page 10. And that is it. That's the end of the video. That is the ultimate outreach masterclass. So if you want conversion copywriting clients, do the first ad poaching method. If you want SEO copywriting clients, do the second method. And you never know, you might even be able to get email copywriting clients from it. Just sound like you know what you're talking about like that when it comes to SEO. And then when it comes to the actual sales call, you can always just say, well, if we use emails, you can do it, man. You're a copywriter. Come on, you've watched all my videos. You know how to do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. There's nothing else to go over. That's the end of my copywriting course. I may do one more part where I demonstrate a live sales call. I've got the footage recorded, but I'm being really stubborn and just not fucking uploading it because I don't get enough views, so you can all fuck off. So if you want to see the video of one of my live sales calls, which I managed to close, then like the video, comment, subscribe, and maybe even share it for me. Because the only way I'm going to post this video on sales pages is if I get a total of 9,000 views across all 6 of my copywriting course videos. Basics for beginners, direct response, branded, advanced SEO, and outreach. That's 1,500 views per video. That's not a lot. You guys can do it for me. And the way you do it is by engaging. Like, comment, subscribe, because then the algorithm will like me. So if you want to see that video of a live sales call where I actually... Not only will I build a slide telling you how to close a sales call, but I will show you a real life example of me using the techniques that I teach you in that video. How does that sound? Good. So engage with my shit, check the description, sign up to all my stuff, and good luck on your copywriting journeys. That's it for me. I will be posting more videos on this channel, but I'm having a break because all my time and energy has gone into doing this bullshit for you lot. So thanks for sticking around. I will see you all in whatever's next. Peace.